I'll first of all start by thanking for the very timely and relevant report and the very important recommendations of the report that I fully support. Media freedom is an essential condition for any free and democratic society. We must, however, appreciate the complexity in addressing, on the one hand, the universal acknowledgement of the importance of free media, freedom of speech and expression as the bedrock of any democratic dispensation, and on the other hand, our ability to prevent the abuse of the same rights, thereby causing harm to individuals, communities, and national security. The political ability to strike a balance between providing strong protection for the rights to freely express oneself, have access to information and independent of the media, while allowing for appropriate restrictions on the very right we believe to be indispensable to protect the integrity of the individual, community, and state, is inevitably a highly complex task. In recognizing this complexity, there comes the need to also discuss and examine the ways in which states apply restrictions to these freedoms through the use of measures or legislation that are not in compliance with the fundamental freedoms that we claim to protect. We see on a daily basis how so much hate is spread to millions of people only to disguise it under the mantle of freedom of expression. We see how policymakers hide behind freedom of expression and spread hate and divisive rhetoric through media. We see how journalists are victimized and human rights defenders are threatened and in some cases murdered. And all this is done in the name of freedom of expression. We see how anti-migrant rhetoric, how Islamophobic rhetoric, how Afrophobic rhetoric, how homophobic rhetoric, and so on is spread, creating an atmosphere of fear and an inability for these communities to live normal lives like they would like to. Madam Chair, freedom of expression and media is the bedrock of any democratic dispensation, as I mentioned, but we must also equally recognize the inherent limitations to these freedoms, both for ourselves as legislators, but also for the communities and countries that we lead. Freedom of expression does not include hate speech. It does not include incitement to hatred, and it does not include violence. This is something that we need to recognize at all times. And this is a complex task, but this is an extremely serious situation that we find ourselves today, and the Council of Europe needs to take leadership on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Jallow. Next speaker is Jaana-Marit Pelkonen from Finland. She's not here. Next speaker is Madame Beatrice Fresco-Rolfo from Monaco. The floor is yours.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Chers collègues, je souhaiterais tout d'abord remercier et féliciter les rapporteurs pour cet excellent travail fait au nom des commissions. Les pays membres du Conseil de l'Europe ont de tout temps promu une image démocratique. Pour exemple, la multiplication des missions d'observation organisées à leur demande à l'occasion d'élections nationales.